Hi everyone, so we are continuing with the topic of ratios, and at the end of today's lesson, students will be able to share a quantity according to a given ratio. So this will all make sense once we get into the examples, right? So in example 1, $25,000 is to be shared among two consultants in the ratio 2 to 3. What is the amount of the smaller share? So ordinarily, if we were told that $25,000 is to be shared amongst two people, we'd normally just split it down the middle or divide it by two, and one person will get 12,500 while the other person also gets 12,500. However, sometimes in life we don't split things equally, we don't share things equally. Sometimes we share things unequally according to a given ratio. So in this case, what this 2 to 3 represents, this represents the number of shares. So it's as though we have $25,000 being split up into a number of shares. Consultant 1 would get 2 shares, while consultant 2 gets 3 shares. Now these are all equal shares. So if one consultant is getting 2 and another is getting 3, altogether they have 5 equal shares. So it is as though $25,000 has to be split up into 5 equal parts first, and then consultant 1 will receive 2 of those parts, while consultant 2 would receive 3 of those parts. So let's see how the sum has worked out. Our total number of shares is equal to 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5. Now those 5 shares are equal to $25,000. So we're going to split up this $25,000 so we can find the value of one share. So if 5 shares are $25,000, one share would be 25,000 divided by 5. And that works out to be $5,000. Now we were asked to find the amount of the smaller share. That's the value the 2 represents, or the 2 shares that the first consultant obtained. So we are asked to obtain the value of 2 shares. If one share is $5,000, 2 shares will be that same 5,000 times 2, or $10,000. So the smaller share is equal to $10,000. And we were not asked to find a larger share, but the larger share would simply be 3 by your 5,000, which will give you 15,000. And we could work backwards. If we add that 15,000 back to that 10,000, we would obtain the 25,000 that we started off with. Let's look at a second example. In example 2, a sum of money is divided among two friends in the ratio 4 to 11. If the smaller share is 420, find the larger amount. So this sum is different. We were not given the larger amount and asked to split it up. We were only given the value of the smaller share. Now, this sum of money is split up into two parts. One person receives 4 shares, while the other person receives 11 shares. And we were told that the smaller share is 420. So those 4 shares here must be equal to that $420. And just like in example 1, we must find the value of one share. One share, 4 shares is 420. One share would be 420 divided by 4, which is $105. We were asked to find the larger amount. The larger amount is represented by 11 shares. So we have to find the value of 11 shares. And if one share is $105, 11 shares will be 105 multiplied by 11. And that works out to be $1,155. So the larger share is equal to 1155. Let's look at a third example. Two lengths are in the ratio 7 to 8. If the first length is 273, what is the second? So remember, ratio follows a particular order. 7 would be the number we considered as the first length, while 8 will be the number considered as the second length. And we are told that the first length is 273 meters. So that 7 represents 7 shares, which is equal to 273 meters. Just like with the other two examples, we need to find for one share, which is 273 divided by 7. That works out to be 39 meters. We are asked to find the second length. The second length is represented by 8. So we have to find 8 shares, which would be 39 multiplied by 8, which is 312 meters. The larger share is equal to 312 meters.